Okay, everyone.
Hey.
It's Alex, Joel, and Y2K here. We just got out of seeing the Cinema Snob movie.
We did.
Yeah, and that was quite a bit of fun.
Yeah. I really
I
enjoyed myself.
Yeah,
Let's get that here. Can we good see everybody? Yeah,
we're good.
All right, excellent.
All right. Yeah. So, what did you guys think of the Cinema Snob movie?
Well, I really enjoyed myself. It was a lot of fun. I guess sort of any conversation about the Cinema Snob movie would sort of have to start with a little bit of background, really. Talking a bit about kind of the people behind it and sort of what went into it. The Cinema Snob movie was written and also stars a man by the name of Brad Jones, who is somebody who we've been following for quite a while. He's
about 3 years.
At least. Mm-hmm. Somebody who's been on the internet. He has an internet review series, which he does called The Cinema Snob. Obviously, the two are related. We'll get into that a little bit later.
Yeah.
But the one thing about him is that we found him through the review series, but then we sort of found a lot of other stuff that he does, other shows, and also sort of his movies that he's done over the years. And a lot of the ones that he's done, especially the earlier ones, shot on high 8,
Shot on high 8,
shot on high 8,
DV tape,
and just done zero amounts of money, starring his friends, but they were really enjoyable movies, it took a little while for me to, I guess, sort of see it. I mean, Brad Jones, writes them, usually stars in them, and the early ones he directed, and there's just a real quality to them. Of course, like the scripts are usually very fun. Brad Jones is very good at writing an entertaining script with some good humor, but which is really enjoyable. And he gets his friends tacked in them and whatnot. But really, what's so fun about the movies is that there's this definite sense of just the joy of making movies.
They love doing it.
Yeah.
They love it.
And that's just, there's something really contagious about it for people like us who, also want to make movies. Just to see somebody go out there and actually make these movies which are enjoyable, which are fun to watch, especially for people like us. Because there is that real joy of movie making in there. And it's
just, there's so much, there's a big heart to it because it's just like, just going out there and making a movie. Like, no matter how much money you have, they're just doing it because they love it, and you feel that in the movie. A lot of amateur filmmakers, sometimes they do stuff and it really just doesn't come across really well in that sense. But with Brad Jones, his movies, there's just that
what are you doing? Do you want to say something?
There's just that sense.
Just say, like, the movie was essentially about that.
Yeah, to a certain extent. There's like a lot about sort of these guys who just want to go out and make a movie.
With nothing.
Yeah, but the thing is too, like, watching these movies, you get to sort of know his friends in a weird way. Like, you get to sort of see a lot of these people, and they're a lot of fun in all the movies that he does. They're charismatic. They like bring across some kind of character, and even though the acting isn't always the best,
they're really into it.
Yeah, they are really into it. And even though the acting isn't always the best, even though the direction, especially in the early ones, is in fact so bad that you can barely tell what's going on, because the whole thing's being lit like from a nightlight.
The lighting's always a problem.
The lighting's a problem. Sometimes you can't even hear them.
But I actually really like Game Boys. Like, that was the first film of his that I saw.
I love Game Boys.
And I watched it. Like, I watched it and then I was like, that was great. And that movie I rewatch a lot. It's just, it has for me a lot of rewatch value. And it's just a movie I can just put on.
And that's really something that, that's kind of a big thing to say about a movie that just a bunch of friends made. People who you don't even know. Just saying, this movie has rewatch value. I want to put it on. And I get a lot of enjoyment out of it. It's a very funny, just very charming movie.
Yeah.
And I guess sort of part of the thing is, too, because his movies are shot really cheap, especially the early ones, because they're shot on high 8 or whatever, that kind of lends itself to an atmosphere. So you're willing to overlook, I think, a lot of the other problems, like you can't hear the dialogue very clearly a lot of the time, and just things like that.
Yeah, but the thing is, we just realize that we share a lot of the same opinions as Brad Jones in the terms of like movies, movie making in that sense. Just kind of loves practical effects. It's also talking about Bond films too. We also share the same favorite on our top list of favorite Bonds. Up there is George Lazenby and On Her Majesty's Secret Service. But yeah,
Timothy Dalton too.
Timothy Dalton, yes.
He's my favorite Bond. Ooh, yeah.
And for a while, he does this cinema snob thing, which is, what this movie is sort of pretty much about. Yeah,
it's
more than...
I guess you don't have to have seen the Cinema Snob series to just get into the movie, because the series is essentially about this character who's a snob and he watches these horrible Z-grade films, or just again movies with terrible production value from back in the 70s, the 80s, the whatever, and he just judges them on merits that they shouldn't have. It just treats them like they were Oscar caliber films and trying to figure them out, and that's the character that he plays. And the clever thing
what was it?
Zero stars.
What? Ghosts don't exist. Boo, 0 stars.
Yeah, it's like that. And this movie actually does a really clever thing with that, because in the movie it's a little autobiographical, because this is about somebody who wants to be an exploitation filmmaker who's likes all that stuff, but he has to pretend to be a snob. Yeah, and you could completely watch it without having seen the Cinema Snob show, and it also kind of works if you have seen the show. There are a lot of references you can get, and you can almost see it like a prequel to the show in a little way. Yeah, maybe this guy wanted to continue on doing it as a show or something.
Yeah, and that actually explains a lot now. So the movie itself, though. I enjoy it immensely. I mean, it does have that, it has the Brad Jones flavor to the writing and stuff. And
a lot of really fun, snappy dialogue.
He has the best reactions I have ever seen.
As an actor, oh yeah.
What?
Again, his movies tend to have a lot of really fun characters, and even though this movie is a little bit better in terms of production value, it's still everybody is his friends, behind the camera, in front of the camera, and they're all a blast.
It's other people he's met within the his job, the internet reviewing, Ed Glazer, and Noah Antwiller.
Also known as a Spoonie.
And they're they are a hoot. I mean, you can definitely tell from looking at the older films of his that they have improved.
They have a lot. This is actually directed by someone else. It's directed by a man by the name of Ryan Mitchell, who has had a bit of experience in the business, and you can tell it's not a perfect film. There's some problems with the mixing. It's directed a little flat, but there's
one of the worst green screen shots.
It's all good.
Well, that was hanging on 2 poles. I mean,
did they use that?
Oh, what are you talking about? The shot where Sarah Lewis is at the beach? That was a green screen shot.
But at the same time, not only has the direction gotten better, you can see what's going on all the time. There's the dialogue's usually pretty clear, but also I think everybody has stepped up their game because of that. With the lower production value, you could kind of forgive some of the misreadings and just some of the just flaws in the movie. But here everybody has obviously seemed like they stepped up their game in terms of acting, because everybody's improved. Just to see their sort of from the beginning movies up till now, everybody's gotten a lot better. I don't think there's a bad performance in the movie, really.
Oh yeah, I really felt it was pretty good. I mean, some of them better than others, but you didn't really get distracted.
No, there's no real weak link where you're going, well, that was no, nothing like that.
It's pretty good, and they've got speaking of production values, they've got some very nice makeup effects for the death scenes.
Essentially, this movie starts out as sort of more of a comedy, and then it sort of dives right into giallo thriller. with comedy still.
With comedy,
but there's some great practical special effects in this thing. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
The cell phone to the eye, I know.
I did not see that coming the first time. He turned around, I was
did he? But yeah, didn't the guy? You said something about the guy who did the special effects.
I believe the guy who did the prosthetic effects from the movie also did designs or built some of the creatures for the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Oh, nice.
I like that movie a lot.
Yeah, it's got some. I haven't seen it, but I've seen some of the creatures from it, and
Now I
they're
wanna
pretty
see it,
nice.
so.
Yeah.
I have it. I actually have it.
Oh, I have to see it sometime.
Yeah, good movie. But yeah, and it's there's good. There's some good interaction between the characters. I mean, Brad and Jillian.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Sort of play the main sort of romantic leads, I guess you would say.
Yeah, you would say.
Yeah. Brad plays a character by the name of Craig Golightly, who, as we said, wants to be an exploitation filmmaker, but he's got to get in with the local film board, so he's got to pose as a movie snob by the name of Vincent Dawn. So he sort of meets up with this woman, and things happen from there. I don't want to give too much of the plot away, but it was.
It's funny because he ends up being like one of the most real characters I've seen in a movie. Just how he reacts to things.
Yeah.
I just saw a man die.
It's just like this is how someone would react to all.
Yeah,
this.
the movie features one of the most realistic one-liners near the end.
Yeah.
It's just that's what somebody would say in that situation.
Yeah.
What were some of your favorite characters or performances that you enjoyed?
I really enjoyed what was it? The guy who played Dan Phillips.
Oh, yeah, that was also played by the director Ryan Mitchell. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, I really enjoyed him. Just kind of how he gets really into the role of this completely pretentious film critic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you sort of have contact with people like that in your existence.
I do. It was all
Can't
like
wait.
when I first saw the movie, I was like almost cheering at certain lines. Like when he mentions like this, there's a line he's like this is worth all the thin red lines scene. I was just like, yes, I had to sit through that movie. That is one of all the movies I've seen, that movie is the one that I regret seeing the most. Just like 3 hours of my life I am not getting back. I am just, oh my gosh. And I really enjoyed a lot of the just the riffs on those kind of people who can't just watch a movie and have to be overanalyzing it.
Right. I really liked a lot of the side characters. Brad Jones always puts some really entertaining side characters in his movie, and they're like just some even just have a scene or two, like Scott Bakula, who just some guy named Scott Bakula is apparently part of the Film Snobs.
Not for long.
It's a great little cameo, and then you have I really liked Noah Antwiler's performance is kind of as Gene, sort of the rich guy in town who Craig and his friend Neil go to try and get financing and help with the movie, and he's very fun. He plays like an eccentric kind of rich guy, and he really plays it very well.
Let me get some more light back on you. There we go.
Yeah.
Well, that helped.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta say, I really
He was fading into the darkness.
Yeah. I really liked Neil. He was quite
Neil, yeah,
quite nonchalant throughout the entire thing.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess Neil's character, essentially, Neil and Craig want to make this movie, and Craig's is the writer. He wrote the screenplay, and Neil's the one who's going to direct it.
It never does anything.
Yeah. He does near the end, he starts coaching people and trying to egg people on to do things, just like I think a born director would.
Yeah.
He's trying to give people motivation to.
You are
Black Angus.
Yeah. to solve the crime as sort of that unfolds and whatnot. Yeah, it's really good because pretty much everybody in the movie has a couple different sides to them.
Yeah.
Even some of the people at the film that are film snobs have a moment where, like you said, Ryan Mitchell's character has some good moments. The one film snob played by Ed Glazer.
Oh my gosh, he was my favorite. He was really my favorite. Just I think he gave one of the best performances in the movie, even though it was really short. Just his total persona,
and he barely says anything.
Yeah, just his his eyes, just and then talking.
I'll be here.
Yeah, yeah, he was great, and But what was the guy Vladimir?
The guy who ended up playing Black Angus.
Yeah, I don't know what is
Orlando Bazile.
Okay, yeah, he's great.
Yeah,
he was pretty good. I thought, and he never. It was like when I first saw the movie. he never actually talked in that voice. I haven't heard him before.
Yeah.
And he talked in that voice. I was like, oh boy.
Yeah.
Like he really, the movie that they want to make is called Black Angus, and it's a blaxploitation movie. So there's this incredibly realistic scene where the character Gene like asks the filmmakers, "Do you even know any black people?" And they were like, no, we're not racist. I'm like, that is so true. I have actually like been through that experience.
Yeah.
And yeah, his performance is great. Orlando was really good in the movie. He really throws himself into like that kind of blaxploitation role. He takes it on as the movie goes on.
Yeah, yeah, very much. And then what was I think some of the other people in the group, like what was his name? Was the Boyd?
Oh,
yeah,
Mr. Silver.
Mr. Silver, yeah, Boyd,
gosh.
the virtual Boyd. Is the name of his character in Game Boys. It's funny because some of these people who are in Brad's movies, they're referred to by their characters' names in the movies. Like one guy's Max Force. I don't remember what his real name is, but yeah, and that guy he was pretty funny in the in just the scenes with
And creepy.
Yeah, he's like just swirling that glass.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Just like a very just disturbing film snob type. Yeah, like some of those film club scenes just felt like a cult.
Yeah.
You know, and that was just like the perfect.
Yeah.
Like with some of the music too was.
you've got
nice.
you've got some catchy little themes in there. Just simple.
5 of them.
Yeah.
It's all you need, really.
Yeah, there's like a good stinger for the murder scenes, which is like really good boom, like, you know, there's that, and then there's like a very kind of pretentious sounding bit for the film club, and then there's like a sort of nice piano piece for the main character.
Yeah.
I swear, I could listen to that on end for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the movie it works pretty well, like the plot.
Yeah.
Just it has I don't know. I don't know if I feel like this in some places it lagged a little, but honestly,
Not so much, honestly. I don't think so.
It didn't matter. I don't know if maybe like the second time around seeing.
Yeah, I think like one of the things, I guess, if just sort of talking about flaws in the movie, I feel like it does suffer from the one thing that a lot of this is one of I don't know Brad Jones's sort of things that he struggles with at times, that he tends to go back to the same material for a joke or for a scene, like all at once. So like, for instance, there'll be a whole scene where there'll be a lot of movie reference jokes, and then there'll be like a lot of black jokes in another scene, like in reference to some stuff. So that happened a little bit on his reviews too, to a certain extent in Game Boys, and it's present here too. But again, it won't destroy your appreciation for the movie at all.
No.
But it is a one thing that I kind of wish had like been toned out, a little more variety of the jokes in some scenes.
Yeah, and what was it? Jillian, I thought, just kind of her. You could tell, like she was among one of the the actors in the film, like her and Brad and others who kind of like were very into their characters.
Yes.
So,
Heck yes.
like
yeah.
She's kind of all over the place.
In like what way?
Like very energetic.
Oh yeah.
Most of
Oh
the
yeah.
time.
Yeah.
I mean, she is like that in like a lot of the other videos on the Cinema Snob
But
site.
she played a very believable character, and she played it
Yeah.
very well. She was like, a lot of her lines were delivered very believably.
And I think it also had some, it had a really good, it actually kind of had a message, this film.
Yeah.
It did. It was about something.
It was about something, but it was still fun,
Yeah, and it was like, it was about something. It wasn't like, well, Brad Jones's incredibly fake sideburns symbolized.
The lingering influence of the 70s.
Oh, okay, I see,
Yes,
yeah.
you see. No, it's about something that I've actually like come to the conclusion to recently in a recent video, and a bunch of other internet critics have as well. In general, and it's just that people need to stop telling other people what movies to like or hate,
Right.
and just just go out, tell people to go out there and make up their own minds. And there's some really good scenes Brad's character has with a couple other characters when he's kind of like saying kind of like saying that to them in a sense, like with Ed
Yeah.
Glazer, he's telling them that or something.
Yeah, he has a scene later with Dan Phillips.
Yeah,
too,
and
you know.
it's really nice too because I know I think Brad he has some scenes like that in some of his movies, sort of like that, but. I don't know. It always feels like something he really wants to say. Like it's like him saying it.
Yeah.
So, you know, it could have the potential to be sort of like proselytizing and
but
preachy. But
I think it would, but it was very smoothly integrated into the movie. It was like
in this scene where he's talking to the perpetrator. I won't spoil it. But, and he's talking to the perpetrator, and he's just basically kind of saying. What why critics like just kind of shouldn't be doing like this,
right?
Like why they shouldn't be judging a film on these merits when it was that's not why it was made for that. But yeah, and that really I was really pleased with that it actually it was actually trying to like write that in this because there's a lot of the internet is full of people who are just screaming at movies.
There's so much hate,
There's too much hate.
There's too much hate, really.
Where's the happy reviewing?
Well, they don't rake in the views. So.
No, and you can't. Yeah.
I mean, that's the great thing. Like with Brad Jones's reviews, he's playing a character who hates movies, and in a way, he does a lot of the same thing that he did with this movie. It's like he gets across that he really does love these kinds of movies, and it's sort of a riff on criticism as much as it is on a movie.
Yeah, I kind of want to get a. Movie poster for the film.
The poster is great.
The poster is great. That one, but also the one that's inside the case.
The
alternate
the
poster.
Sean Millington one.
Yes, which it just has. It's just
beautiful.
In a way it is, and I like this movie a lot. I think it's a great movie. I hope that it gets wide exposure.
Yeah, and I would definitely recommend this if you love movies. You're gonna get a kick out of this. Doesn't matter if you know who the Cinema Snob is or if you know who Brad Jones is. If you love movies, whether it's making them or just you're really a fan of watching them, there's something in this movie for you. It's a lot of fun. So after the commercial break, we're gonna talk a little bit about the next movie that we saw at the theater, which we actually sent Y2K to. He actually saw Les Mis.
Oh yeah, I saw that too, but he saw it, so he's gonna.
Yeah, we saw it before.
This is your buddy Vic saying if you want the perfect woman, never forget your needle and thread.
Hey, welcome back. So now we're going to talk a little bit about the movie that we actually saw before, but we sent Y2K to go see it while we were watching the Cinema Snob movie, Les Mis. So, what'd you think of Les Mis?
What'd you think?
Wow.